Hi, it's Pastor Paul L. Anderson here at the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, where we believe God's blessings never stop flowing. It is Satisfaction Saturday. Oh, the satisfaction of knowing how God has been so good to us all week long. We can say like the songwriter said, I've had some good days, I've had some bad days, but in and through it all, I won't complain. When you and I have been to the mountaintop, we can say like Martin Luther King said, I have been to the mountaintop and I have seen the promised land. Saturday is the day that you and I have seen the promised land, that God promised he would keep us in the land of the living. God promised that he would bless us. God promised us that we will be a blessing to someone else. Today, when you look with me into Mark's gospel, the 2nd chapter, verses 41 through 44, it begins to remind all of us how God has blessed us. The story is told of a woman who's a widow. She comes in the time of worship at the temple. As she draws near to the temple, she gets to the part of the service where there's a collection box in the temple. And she watched the crowds drop their money in. There were so many rich people that were there. They put in large amounts of money. And they did it with such a great show and parade that they showed everybody, look at how much I'm giving. You know, could that be like sometimes what we do in our places of worship? When it's offering time, we ask all the tithers to come up first to let everybody know I'm a tither. But how many people you think may have not really been a tither, but just went up for the show? I believe it was like it was in their day. There was somebody who was just going up for the show. They wanted everybody to see the wonderful garments that they have on. I ask you the question, does what we wear and the clothes that we have on cost more or has more value than the money that we put in the offering plate? Well, if it does, some of us need to repent, because it tells us wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is also. We find the rich people are depositing large amounts into the offering basket, but then a poor widow came. She dropped in 2 small coins. She gave everything that she had. The text gives us insight that she was a widow. That meant that she didn't have a husband. She didn't have anybody who was caring for her. She didn't have property, didn't have great land, because in their day, widows couldn't own anything because women were owned. They were considered as property. She did her very best to make it in life. Very different from us today. We make sure that our wives are taken care of. We make sure that our children are taken care of. But in their day, they didn't have it like we have it today. She gets 2 small coins. Jesus called his disciples to him. And he said, I tell you the truth. This poor widow has given more than all the others who are making contributions. They gave a tiny part of their surplus, but she, as poor as she is, has given everything that she had to live on. Isn't that powerful? We have to ask ourselves the question, are we giving God all that we have? Are we giving him the best of our time, our talent, and our treasures? Or are we just making a contribution? As I conclude, I'm reminded of a story that are told of 2 barnyard animals. There was a pig and there was a chicken who were having a conversation. The chicken looked at the pig and said, every day I make a contribution to our owner's breakfast. The pig looked at the chicken and he said, yeah, for you, that's easy. You're only making a contribution. But when they have bacon, I have made a total sacrifice. I want to ask you, have you made the total sacrifice? Have I made the sacrifice? Do we give God all that he deserves? Are we giving him our all? Or are we holding out because there's something that we want to buy for ourselves? May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. Always remember, you are exceedingly and abundantly blessed. And God has a great blessing in store for you in this year of 2022. And I'll talk to you again on Monday. May God bless you and heaven smile upon you.
To sow a seed to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship, visit our newly redesigned website, thefountainofraleigh.org, and select Sow a Seed from the homepage. Also, giving has been made easier with the new Fountain of Raleigh app, available now in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Download today, select Giving from the main menu, and then follow the directions to complete your giving through Subsplash.
Thank you so very much for all of your gifts and donations that you've given to the Fountain of Raleigh Fellowship. We thank you for what you've done in the past, what you're currently doing, and what you will do in the future. Your gifts and donations helps us to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, not only locally, but throughout the world. Thank you again for your gifts, and may God continue to richly bless you. It is here at the Fountain that we believe that we are exceedingly and abundantly blessed, and may you receive those blessings that God has in store for you.